Now this is a story, y'all, about how one dude talked about his wife and got. All right, hold on. Let me start over. Can I start over? Is it too late? All right, hold on. Now this is. Hold on. I probably should have wrote this down. I probably should have ahead of time. Now this is a story, y'all, about how there was an Oscars showdown, and I'd like to tell you, man, just sit right there. I'll tell you how Chris Rock got slapped in the face by a man who used to star on a show that was about a place called Bel Air.
Yo, Flow. That's Flow.
That's bars. OG, all day, man.
Yeah, where you at, Black Thought? Where you at? Yeah, where you at, Papoose?
Yeah, man, cannabis. You don't want no smoke conceited. You don't want no smoke wilding out. Screw what's going on, y'all. It's Saturday, and perhaps you may have heard that there's things running amok. But before we get into the headlines, just a few things that have happened this week that we thought were interesting. Obviously, the Moon Knight is among us. All right, the premiere was here this week, and it was. We'll talk about it. All right. Morbius debuted this week as well. And that has a whole other set of things going on. Halo is still a thing. And it might be more of a thing than I originally thought. So I think that's worth talking about, in all honesty. And, of course, for those of you all who were not anywhere on top of the rock this week, we noticed that our good friend Agent J fell victim to his own insensitivity, insecurities, or whatever. I don't know. There's a whole, you know what? Ever since this happened, there have been so many different opinions, so many different Monday morning football quarterbacking scenarios happening. And so I'm hoping that maybe today we can get a round table and get an idea of what we all felt about this as well. Good morning, guys. It is Saturday. The real Vince Taylor, of course, here, Blurred Man himself, as well as alongside and ever so glowing, ever so cheery Stephanie this morning, who is lively and awake at 7 Pacific time. We've got Tyrone in the building. We've got the homie Bad Ty, who pops up in the Cobra Clutch right at a moment's notice. Yeah. And we have our guest host, a guest appearance of the panel, Miss Phoenix Knight, with a
just drinking blood to honor Morbius.
Damn it.
She went red.
This is happening. This is happening right now. All right, I don't know. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and let's chat Blurred stuff as we do every day. Come on. I mean, every Saturday. Oh, my God. What's going on? Look, just roll the intro. God damn.
Hey guys, I love the new Blurred order. You should, too.
Whoa. All right, guys, heavy on everybody's minds. Even though it's about 7 days later, this stuff is still making headlines, man. The thing that happened in front of everybody, it was quite fascinating. I didn't see it live. I don't know if y'all did or not, but if you did miss it, this is exactly what happened.
What's up, bro? You're up out of your seat. Oh, shit. Hey, here we go. Hey. Everybody's coming to this thing, and I don't really know what the fuck he's doing right now.
That's exactly how it happened. Exactly. Word for word, bar for bar. It was the exact same thing. Nah, just playing. Yep. So that's I'm curious as to if y'all saw this live or not. Did y'all see it? Were y'all actually watching? I'm not a big award show guy, so I didn't see it live. Did anybody here see it live? Yeah, Ty, you saw it live? What happened, man?
I would say real time because I don't know that they actually broadcasted it nationally live. But internationally when it happened, whoever the people were that were recording it uploaded it immediately after it happened, or maybe even while it was happening. So I got to see it real time because I was up watching the Oscars and I got tired and I literally went to bed and then I got the notification and I was like, oh, what's this? Oh wow, he's slapping people. So I was like, I turned it off too soon. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you turned it off too soon. So right. Well, listen, I'll tell you how I found out about it. I was minding my business, all right, as I always am. And then the wife hit me up, was like calling me as if something was happening to the as if the child had gotten into an accident. You know what I'm saying? That frantic call where you're like, all right, I'm a little busy. Hey, notification, I'll hit you back. Call right back. Like, somebody's stuck. We need bail money. What's going on? To answer the phone is like, oh my God, did you see the slap? I was like, the slap? You know what I'm saying? I didn't know what was going on. And it was all about Will Smith slapping this dude. And when I first heard it, like I heard it described to me, Steph, and I was like, all right, that sounds weird, but I don't know. I got to see what it looks like. Then I saw it and I was like, whoa, like he slapped him for real. But then there was automatically, as it is an American culture, the conspiracy theorists, which first and foremost had to deny that it even happened. You know what I'm saying? It was fake. It was set up. It was a ploy. And if it was, that would have been fascinating, but didn't look fake to me, except for the part where Chris Rock seems to smile and laugh all the way through the entire assault. Very, very Green Goblin of him. What did you think about this whole thing, Steph? I mean, was Will Smith doing right by Jada? Was he just hurt? Was he picking on somebody that wasn't his size? What's going on?
I mean, they're approximately the same size, so I don't think that.
Oh,
they're close to the same size.
Not
is,
at all.
Is Will bigger than Chris? They look close to
Oh, he's very much larger than Chris.
Yeah. A little. It's not like a him and Jada differential. They're
That's
both
old picture,
full-size men.
It's a really old picture.
Hold on, wait. All right. Okay, wait. Okay, hold on. Are we talking about the same people? Because the Chris Rock that I know and the Will Smith that I know are incomparable from a body's mass size.
Yeah, but Chris Rock is not a tiny dude. It's not like he smacked Kevin Hart.
Well, Chris Rock, but he's not like Chris Rock looks like he could fall between the cracks in the sidewalk. You know what I'm saying? Like he doesn't seem to have a musculature tone.
Okay, but Will didn't just finish Ali either. Like they both kind of got like older dude, tall black guy build.
I don't know. Am I alone in thinking that Steph is underplaying the body mass index of one? All right, let's just look at this. All right, now this may not be current, but here, my friend, is Will Smith. All right, this is the guy I know is Will Smith, and the guy, that was punched. Oh my God, I can't believe this didn't just happen. Well, the guy that was hit on stage. Shoot, man, I didn't have it up. All right, I messed that all up. That didn't happen the way it was supposed to happen. Okay, I had another pick that was supposed to be up there, and it didn't appear.
I gave it a 6.5.
Yeah, that was bad. That was all right. Well, let me. You know what? Stephanie, make your point. My apologies.
Anyway, Jada has alopecia. It's common knowledge. I don't believe that Chris didn't know. I think it's better for him and his publicist to say he didn't know. This shit is pretty well known. The man made a documentary, which I watched a screening of, at which he was present, about Black women's hair. He knows better. And any comedian who's afraid of getting smacked right now, you're a shitty comedian. Because if you're not smart enough to talk about things other than how the people in the audience look, you need to do better. I think it was just fine. I think, sometimes you F around and find out. That's what happened to Chris Rock. I mean, I guess I'm not going to openly condone Will Smith's response, but I'm not mad at it.
What was his response?
Smacking Chris Rock in the face.
Oh,
I'm saying his response to the joke. Chris Rock was out of line. Like, he shouldn't have said that. And I think that he knew what he was doing. I don't believe that he was unaware that Jada has alopecia. She's been very open about it. It's very clear that she feels insecure about it. The way I see it, like, here's this Black woman all dressed up at the Oscars, feeling beautiful. Her husband's nominated. And here comes Chris Rock making a mean joke about her looks, which are a result of her health condition. That's not okay.
Okay. All right. Hey, good morning, Yas.
Hi.
Morning.
What's up?
Good to see you. We were just talking about Agent J slacking Pookie from New Jack City.
Ooh.
And, at first, it was a debate about the size difference. Stephanie just called me out because she said if you can't talk about stuff other than what the audience looks like, and if you watch a lot of my set, a lot of it's pretty. It's a very it's like a heat-seeking missile. Somebody described it as, with looking for different things that you can observe in the room to either make fun of or to bring up in a respectable manner. Now, I do think that there's a line, and sometimes we don't know whether or not we crossed it or not. Okay. I think that Chris Rock is the victim of a poorly executed joke. I think that he said a bad joke in front of millions of viewers. And I honestly don't even know if Will Smith was offended at first until he realized he should have been offended. But these things happen as comedians, especially us off-script comedians who typically don't just say our set jokes, right, Tyrone?
Yeah, no, I feel you. This is one of those times where it can be more than one thing. So Stephanie is absolutely right. Like they're, just pointing out people's appearances, and just basically just doing a quick shit on them. It is like, it's not the best. It's not the way that comedy survives. You know what I mean? Like when we talk about like the evolution of comedy and stuff. So there does need to be a certain kind of evolution past that. But we also do know that a good roast is fun. A good roast, not a bad roast. Bad roast sucks. Good roast, super fun. And so that's where you come in and say like, yeah, he suffered from a bad joke. He absolutely did. The joke was shitty. Like if he made a good joke about Jada being bald, chances are it wouldn't have gotten that reaction.
Of course,
people might have been like, ah, shit, that's kind of low, but it wouldn't have been like this huge insult probably. So it was also just the whole situation overall is just a series of failures. Like Chris was wrong, Will was wrong, Academy was like everybody did everything wrong. All of it was just wrong, and it was just like, all right, everybody looks shitty. Some stuff went down, and then we talked about it for a week, and now we have I guess at the end of it, I think Will Smith ended up being like a terrorist that terrorized a lot of white women. I think is ultimately how this whole thing played out. So Will Smith probably got the worst of it in the end.
Yeah, man. Yo, Ty, I too, as I said, man, am a huge fan of D.L. Hewley, a huge fan of Martin Lawrence, huge fan of Cat Williams, folks that will roast you to sleep on the stage. You know what I'm saying? But it's typically done in a manner in which everybody can laugh at you and you can laugh at yourself along with it. You know what I'm saying? You've almost immediately lost when the person that you've picked at is completely thrown off by it. It works best in my opinion when the person you're picking at laughs as well, or everybody else is in agreement with what you said. But Chris Rock lost the person he was talking about and immediately lost the crowd. I mean, he got a couple of chuckles, but this is something that happens in the comedy realm. I mean, any comedian in here will tell you that sometimes you think of something backstage and you're like, oh, I'm gonna kill him with this. And you come out, you're like, oh, you know what? Misfire, abort mission, it's too late. Oh, snap, it's on TV for the rest of my life. I probably would have thought maybe this is a little too, maybe it's a little too. But then again, he's also thinking, look, I got a personal relationship with these folks. I know them like that. It's not like this is some people that I'm making fun of that don't know me. I know these folks, right, Ty? I mean, do you think he thought that he was stepping in safe territory?
I think any comedian who steps on stage and tells jokes feels like they're stepping into a safe territory. Otherwise, you wouldn't get up there and tell the jokes that you tell. I don't necessarily agree with Stephanie as to Chris Rock knowing. I didn't even know she had alopecia, honestly. And I don't know that Chris Rock follows her page to see when she posts or see what she's talking about. I follow Will and Jada. I don't get every one of her posts. I don't get every one of her notifications, and I may get them and just haven't seen them. So it is a possibility that he did not know about her alopecia. Was the joke a bad joke? Sure. Was it worth Will getting up and smacking the shit out of this man on national and international TV. No. It was ego driven. It was definitely a call for him to stand up for his wife, by his wife in that moment. It looked as though everybody saw the joke when it happened in real time. Will was laughing initially. He looked over, saw that Jada did not find it funny in any way, shape, or form. And it almost looked like she gave him the look like, so what you gonna do, nigga? What you gonna do? And any man who's in a relationship, been in a relationship, knows that when you get that look, you better do something. You better do something, and you better do it quickly. That could your decision in that moment could determine the level of respect you have in your relationship moving forward. Wow. It has a lot. It has a lot. So I understand the pressure that he felt in that moment. I just don't like this idea that we, as a culture, Black women, Black men, a lot of the comments that I've been seeing as he was doing the right thing. He stepped up and looked out for his wife. I'm a staunch protector of my family. Very, 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 very. My wife will tell you I don't play no games. However, as long as you don't come near my wife, as long as you don't touch her, you know what I'm saying, I can probably ignore one or two things as long as you don't just get crazy with it and just start calling her all kind of bees and all of that kind of shit. But a joke, I may have, if I was in Will's shoes, walked up there to Chris Rock like he did and told him in his ear, you need to apologize to my wife right now. I think given that level, that conversation and those few choice words, I think in that moment Chris would have apologized. And you know what I'm saying? Like he would I think it would have been rectified really simply. But for him to go up there and smack this man in front of a crowd, a room full of elites and the world to see, his family, his loved ones, everybody. I just thought that was just too much, man. It was too much. He didn't deserve that. I don't care how bad the joke was. No.
Well, let me ask you this. Was there a better way, Yaz? Or let me ask you this, Yaz. You're at a comedy show. You came to one of my shows. Say I didn't know you, and I started ripping on you, and you weren't liking it, and you turned to Austin, and he's like, do you lose respect? Do you want him to say something? Does he supposed to? Do you just walk out? I mean, I think it's a different dynamic when you're at a comedy show sitting where you paid and you can just leave and make a bad review, as opposed to being on the front row and on display for the world and can't just get up and walk away. Like, there's a different dynamic. But at the same time, like when that situation arises, I mean, do you expect your man to kind of come to your rescue from a comedian? Or, I mean, how does that even?
I mean, not really, because like you're there to watch a comedy show. I mean, obviously at some point you could be the butt of the joke, you know what I'm saying? You're in the audience. That's just how that works. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's life, like for instance, when I went to your last comedy show, that lady that was like belligerent, oh my God, she made herself, like part of your show because she just wouldn't stop talking. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just like, we could hear her over you multiple times. It was just like, it was getting ridiculous. So I even screamed at her at one point, and I was like the last scream. I did. I was like, Austin and I were dying laughing about it too, because like, I like got so mad. Like I watched the whole, your whole show, and I didn't say anything. And then finally her last little thing when she kept going on, I screamed. I was like, shut the fuck up. And like, she didn't say anything after that. And I was like, finally. And Austin just died. Like literally, he was like literally died laughing. He's like, I wish Vince could have seen that. It was great. But it happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just part of the show. So I get that she, like expected him to, defend her honor, but I don't know, like, I thought it was kind of crazy. He got up there and straight up just smacked him. Did you see his face? Like, oh my God, these memes are killing me. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
yeah, like it's actually quite disturbing that, like, Chris Rock, like, he was basically a sparring bag. He got punched, he got slapped, smiled about it, and was like, okay, Will Smith just bitch slapped me, and continued to. That's a professional, if I say so myself, in a comedic realm. But yeah, as a roaster myself, I have targeted many, but I will say this. Somebody did describe me, and I love the description of being a heat-seeking missile, but I also know to choose my targets wisely. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you were at the show that we did. It was at Madcaps, one of those two shows, but there was, I'm stepping into it here, Tyrone, so please jump in and save me at any point. We'll finish this in a second and go on to Moon Knight. And maybe Morbius, because that did premiere as well. I don't know if we should or not, because I don't know if we want to discourage people from seeing it, but that's a whole other subject. But they one of these shows, yes, at that Madcaps Comedy Club out in New Smyrna Beach. Shout out to Aaron, shout out to my dog and everybody that runs it. That's Adam Lowry, I believe. And shout out to Rod Z, who was in there for a little while. Rod Z, big name, man, hilarious comedian. Even though he went to Bethune-Cookman, I'll forgive him for that. Now, I've made fun of people and they not liked it and have walked out. It literally happened at a show in Spring Hill not too long ago, but the crowd was with me and they were like, fuck him. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't even take it. Like, I didn't even go in on this dude. I was just like, sir, are you okay? And he was like, why you keep talking to me? And I was like, you're on the front row. And he just got up and left. And his family, his wife, his brothers, everybody stayed there. I was like, yo, fuck him. He's a tight ass. This other show I went to, I was talking to these two girls on the front row, and I was like, yo, so I was like, so like, do y'all like share, sexual intercourse with it? And it was like, no, we don't do the guys. And at this point, I'm like, now he's got, and so I'm like, okay, do we proceed with caution or do we abort? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this is so I was like, I made some jokes, but one thing I did not do is attack them for their orientation. You know what I'm saying? I spoke about it. I danced around it. Some of the benefits, such as choosing weapons from a drawer and battery-powered elements. But I never was like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't go directly at I made sure that they were laughing too at the same time. Now, that doesn't always happen. It doesn't always happen. Sometimes I'll say something and the person that I'm talking about, it happened literally. I went to a little open mic and I called this dude and his friend Cheech and Chong. They did not crack a smile. They gave me this stone face. Oh, that was corny as hell look. Turned out they were comedians, so it made sense. But at the same time, you take these risks as a comedian. You don't know. Everything don't slap. You're not talking about a special where everything has been tried and tested. So I just feel like he said something impulsive. It didn't work. And Will Smith took it personally. I feel like he still thinks he still feels like he has some resolved insecurities from the 90s and Tupac and people calling him soft and stuff like that. And I also think that there was a hint of coming to his wife's honor, but it was also like, look, bro, I ain't no punk ass bitch. I am the Will Smith from Bel Air. I just think that he slapped Chris Rock also because he thought that he can take Chris Rock. So, Ty.
I think a very important thing that we need to address in this situation is the fact of the why when it comes to why Will decided to go up there and smack this man. I don't know that he has any mental problems. I don't know that he has any trauma. I know that it's easy to excuse whatever action that I have with, whatever I feel like everybody will accept. I don't think that if this were, say, a Ricky Gervais or I don't know all of the comics that stoop to this type of comedy, but when it comes down to it, I don't think Will goes up there with the same arrogance and level of anger or annoyance with one of those guys if they make a joke similar. Earlier that night, Regina Hall made a joke in reference to the entanglement situation. And Jada and Will died laughing. You know, and if you're looking at it from a cultural standpoint and just how people view relationships, I feel like that's a lot more, you know, embarrassing and you know, just a deeper rooted situation than alopecia. Alopecia is you know, I don't have it, but I would, if I did have it, you know how I love my hair, so I could see how that could be traumatic. But you're not dying. You're not dying. You know, Jada's beautiful. Let's just say that off the top. She is absolutely beautiful. Bald head, full head, whatever head. Jada is fine. Jada gotta know she fine. Will probably tells her all the time you fine. So I get it. You don't have hair anymore. This is traumatic, but Will to in some way think at that moment that your husband should go up here and handle this on this platform. And I don't know that she did think that. I don't know that. I'm assuming, but I don't know.
Wow.
But for Will to go up there and do something like this in front of that crowd of people, in front of the world, it just says a lot about us as Black people and how we, especially Black men, how you view another Black man in that moment. Right. For you to just go up there, have little to no respect for yourself. It ain't even about Chris Rock at that moment. Like you can handle Chris Rock behind stage. Yo, soon as that set was over, hold up, baby, I'll be right back. You can go right back there and look, check the hell out of Chris. Nobody has to see it except that one motherfucker with that camera who's like, oh, you know what I'm saying? But it's different. It's a different dynamic than what you did. He was the level of arrogance and swagger that he walked up there and smacked this dude with. He smacked him with this matter of factness where it was like, I'm gonna smack him and I know ain't shit gonna happen to me. He did that's what really to the core hurt me more than anything is you went up there and smacked this grown man. Listen, as a Black man, y'all can attest to this. In our culture, there are two things for sure. I know some people say three, but I can tell you two things for sure you don't do to another Black man in our culture. One is spit in his face. You don't do that. Two is smack him. These are two reasons that could cause you to die on sight. Like
hold on, wait. I just had to interject. Chris Tucker just called and told me you also got to include touching a Black man's radio. So we got to put that one in there too.
I was just thinking if Ty was a comedian, he would have added a third thing, and then Vince came in like, "Hey, wait,
I got you.
Before you go, I got this thing I got to do." That was hilarious.
Black man radio, man.
All right, sorry. You was mid lecture. Go ahead, sir. I'm sorry.
Nah, man, nah. So, but these are things that you don't do. This is just something you don't do. You can die. Like somebody would kill you for those things. So for him to go up there with this matter of factness and this bravado, like, oh, I'm gonna smack him and I'm gonna walk up the stage, ain't nobody gonna say shit, and then I'm gonna get to my seat and I'm gonna yell from my seat, keep my fucking wife's name out your mouth, and oh, you didn't hear me the first time? Keep my fucking, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You now went hysterical. You're hysterical at this point. Now, in any other environment, you tell me if I'm wrong. Any other platform, any other environment in the United States, you walk up, you smack the shit out of anybody in a room full of people, somebody's going to either tackle you, everybody's going to be on their cell phone, but guess what, sir? The police are on their way. You know what I mean? The police didn't know about no security rush the stage.
If I may, let me jump in real quick. I'm not saying that they shouldn't have, but I could understand if I'm the producer of the grant of the what's the name of this? What kind of show? The Oscars? My bad. I would understand because these two figures specifically are humorous comedic acts, And I would not be surprised if they did conjure up such a scheme in the back, and just to make, headlines. So I don't know if I would be the one. I'd be the producer to quickly send the police to arrest the black men who are comedians on stage who just did some crazy shit on stage. Now, again, I agree with you that if Seth Rogen got up and punched Ricky Gervais in the face, that there probably would be more security that rushed it. But for some reason, when I see these two, especially given their history, I'm the first thing I thought when I first saw it. If I was watching it live, I would have been like, did that really just? It was very Jackson Nipple-esque. You know what I'm saying? I was like, did I just see what I thought? Did that really just happen? Like, there's a point of being stunned before, and again, it's not a brawl, it's a slap. Right. If they had started tuffling, come on, Pookie, oh fuck you, I Am Legend. You know what I'm saying? Then yeah, but he literally slapped them and walked away, and it looked so. It looked
rehearsed.
If I had found out that it was staged, I'd have been like, that made sense, especially when you look at Chris Rock with this Joker-like smile on his face and slapped right in the face. Like he damn near, like it's not even fake. Like every single every photo that I find, like he's smiling, even when he's like at his, like he hit him like here, and his face went all the way over here, and he's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, bro. I don't know if I agree with us having to send security so quickly because of who they are.
No, it's not even about. But see, that's the root, the desensitization of it. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that you would even think that they would have to send security. Right. That's my point. Is you smack this man in a room full of people. At that point, we don't need permission. As the police force, we don't need you to say, "Hey." We don't need that. If that were to happen anywhere else, a smack in context, this all happened at commercial break. So they had time. Will Packer had time to go talk to Will Smith. He had time to figure out that this, if you didn't see what's her name? Black Panther.
Okoye?
No. Gosh, man.
Shuri?
No, the one that was in love with Black Panther.
Nakia?
Yeah, Nakia. What's her name in real life?
Lupita.
Lupita. So if you couldn't see by Lupita's face that after he started going off that shit just got real. Like that is the shit just got real face. Like that meme will be the shit got real face for a long time. When you see somebody, shit just got real. Like at that moment, everybody is coming together, realizing shit just got real. And this is all in commercial break. So you had ample time to get security to take Will to the back. Whether you arrested him is one thing, but to take him to the back, all of this shit where everybody's just coming and hugging on him like he's the victim in this situation, you literally just smacked the shit out of this dude, came back to your seat, popped off, and then Denzel and Tyler Perry come and hug you up like, yo, brother, the demon devil's coming for you. And no, stop it. Nobody's thinking about the man who just got totally humiliated on national television, whether he took it like a champ or not. That's what I'm saying is like we are so caught up in the entertainment part of this that we don't realize what this man, Chris Rock, just dealt with, being slapped in front of everybody who Like as a dude, imagine that, Vince. Yeah. I know I couldn't. I couldn't do what he did. I couldn't get smacked and not go and react. I'm thinking about everybody I know seeing me. Like that's gonna be 10 years from now, they're gonna be like, yo, man, remember that one that one award show when that nigga smacked the shit out of you, Chris? You're like, yeah.
Well, well, Ty and maybe Steph and Tyrone as performers can relate. You know that saying, there's no such thing as bad press. I mean, if this happened to me, would I be humiliated? Sure. Would it hurt my feelings? Absolutely. But would I make millions off of this incident? Fuck yeah. I'm going on tour, on the Slap Chris Rock tour. I'm going to take Will Smith. We're going to make up on stage. We might make a spinoff, make some videos out of it. You turn these lemons into lemonade. And I think that that's going to happen. Honestly, these two have already made up, so to speak. It's not really a thing between them two. Now it's a thing for everybody else. It's out of their jurisdiction now. And yeah, I would hate for it to happen. But worse things have happened. I don't know. Tyrone, a part of me wants to say I would have liked to have taken the mic and roast the shit out of Chris Rock. Oh yeah, that was about as funny as your last movie. When was that again? Oh shit, my bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I would have rather have etched into his soul than to let it appear that he got the best of me emotionally. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather roast the motherfucker. And I know Will Smith has the chops. So for me, the public display of masculinity was unnecessary because it just showed that he got to you insecurity-wise. But a good solid roast where everybody's laughing at his ass, where they can look at him, point, laugh, and get back with the same weaponry that you were hit with, I think probably would have been a little bit more effective. I think that Rod Z, who I think is gone already in the comments, would agree with me. But what say you, my friend?
I feel like Will Smith would have been fighting outside of his weight class in that respect.
Yeah, you might be right.
So he probably chose the more prudent method for him, because he probably doesn't have the command of words. Now, was Chris Rock on his game that night? Obviously not. He was dropping G.I. Jane references, so
right.
That shows you he was not at the top of his game that night. But yeah, man, I do think there's like, to me, this is like you see a fight at school and you're like, oh shit, that's crazy. And then like you go to class. You know what I mean? I think that's what it's like to me. I think is like in that situation, is there a conversation to be had about safety in schools and family dynamics and the public school system and things like that? Absolutely. Like, those conversations are still there to be had, but not even in the context of that fight anymore. Just those are just conversations that we have. I also do want to just put in a point that I don't think anybody's really thought about, but like, this is a room full of the most dramatic motherfuckers in America. Like, this is not like a regular room of people. This is like people who are the best at their game of being dramatic as shit. So dramatic shit's gonna happen. Like, and they're gonna react like weird people. Talking about going up and hugging on and being like, "Oh, are you okay, Will?" and stuff. That's just theater kid shit. Like, if you ever been around theater people, like, that's just the weird shit that theater kids get into. Like, you can see some stuff like that break out at a rehearsal for a play, and it turns into this. Like, I've seen this happen doing plays. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way these people live, and they all just act like this as their job. So it's I think that's one. I think there's a little bit of it we can just kind of chalk up to just being entertainment in a way, and have the conversations in a different context. Reactions, how different people might react to different situations. The way people react as a whole. Those conversations absolutely should be had. But I do think that Will Smith and Chris Rock part of it should just be done. I think we should just be like, all right, that's over. Like, I don't know if we can get any more out of it.
Well, let me pose a question to Steph. Steph, if she can hear me. Steph, you there? Steph, it's a moon night over there in Cali. All right. As we can speak to Steph's sedated state, hopefully she didn't drink the whole drink and did check to make sure nobody put something in it before she got back to the bar.
Are we making roofie jokes now?
Talk about
Have you been listening, time. Vince?
Yeah, I'm talking about the appropriate time to make jokes. All right, let me stop. Listen, two questions for you, Steph. One, what do you do if you're Jada in that situation? Two, do you think that this is a strike against Black people at the Oscars? Being so that I have yet to see an Oscars show where anybody slapped anybody. Now we got the Source Awards coming to the Oscars. Does this now make the producers of the Oscars, whether it's Will Packer or not, make some certain, take these things into consideration? Like, oh shoot, I forgot, niggas gonna nig. So, maybe we should, be cautious of that. What say you to those?
No, I don't think it at all reflects on Black people. And I think people who think that are full of bullshit. When white people do dumb stuff, nobody's like, oh, look at it reflecting on white people. Look at Harvey Weinstein. These white guys, we just can't trust them. They're all going to be sexually assaulting people. Like,
Right.
No one makes these generalizations when white people do wild, dumb shit, which they do because all humans, regardless of color, are going to do some wild, dumb shit sometimes.
Like attack the Capitol.
Right. Like, we still have not talked about that nearly enough. So that, like, when people talk about, this display of Black violence was so triggering. Do you remember when your cousins fucking tried to overthrow the U.S. government? Do you remember that, white people? Like, yeah. I don't think it reflects badly on Black people at all. I think people who are looking for reasons to validate their racist beliefs that Black men are violent will use this as support for that. And I think it's simply a reflection of their pre-existing prejudice.
Get him.
All right. Wow. Of course, said outstandingly. Now, what would you do if you were Jada, though? If you were in that situation? Stephanie, you are a woman of many hairstyles. And if one of them was poked at this particular venture and you were on the front, and Will Smith or a Will Smith-esque type character was on your side, do you expect him to react in the same way Will Smith did? Do you react on your own? Do you not need nobody to talk for you? How do you respond?
I'm definitely a reactor of my own. I probably would have booed. I've booed people at comedy shows, and I'll do it again. If you say something racist, I will boo you. I will boo you, and I will stare you down. And now it's a moment between the two of us, and that's fine. I'm not afraid of it. We have people we know mutual events that I don't like because they've said racist stuff, and I've booed them, and I will again if they do that shit in front of me. So I absolutely would have booed Chris Rock and probably would have been like, yeah, make fun of my health condition. Real funny, Chris. You're a smart guy. Nice joke. And just made him feel shitty.
Let me ask you this. Let's take it another step and then we'll get off of this. What if that person was me and I made an idiot joke? We have a history and we go back. I've known you since before you've had all your kids. We have a year history, and this is what appears to have been, this may have been an unscripted moment that may have happened in the kitchen with our families, but unfortunately happened in front of a whole bunch of people. So now do you unleash that same wrath against somebody you know, or do you do it?
I think there's a distinction here because I don't just know you. We're actually friends. I like you. I trust you. I don't think you'd try to hurt my feelings. So if you said some shit that I did think was out of line, I probably would be like, not cool, Vince, but like, do your thing. We'll talk later, but not cool. I would make it known in front of the room, like, I don't appreciate what Vince said. I'm not laughing. Like, it's love. I'm not going to interrupt your show, but we need to have a conversation later. But Chris has a history of attacking the Smiths, and I don't think they're friends. I genuinely don't. Like, last Oscars that he spoke at, it was, there was the Oscar So White controversy, and he was talking about how Jada Pinkett Smith boycotting the Oscars is like him boycotting Rihanna's pants. Like, wasn't invited anyway.
That's funny.
So he's already talked shit about the Smiths. I don't think that they had a great pre-existing relationship going into this moment.
As a fellow roaster, man, I don't think that joking about somebody is equated to talking shit about them always. But I do think that Rock has a very, like, there's a hint of vitriol when he says stuff. Like, I'll never forget when he hosted the award show and he started going in on Jude Law. We're like, who the fuck is Jude Law? I mean, we know him from AI and all these other joints, you know what I'm saying? But he was like going in on Jude Law, and we're like, really, Jude Law? Like, that's low hanging fruit, And it took what's his name? What's the dude from Weekend at what's the really intense guy that goes down to Haiti? Sean Penn. Sean Penn goes up after and he's like, look, I love Jude Law. He's great. He's a great actor, and he doesn't deserve to be disparaged. And they made their comments about him. They didn't slap him, But again, I get it. I have, as was said in here. I don't know if y'all saw, but we had some Aku. She says that they came to a show and I was talking trash, and it was all in good nature. Tyrone, I think that it's just a matter of finding the balance between roasting to hurt your feelings and roasting to get a laugh. And
no, just generally, I feel like if you're gonna roast people, better be funny.
Yeah,
like that's the thing. Like, you be funny.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it is just talking shit. You know what I mean? If it's not funny, then the joke didn't land. So it's just shit talk. So be funny if you roast people.
What's up, Tyrone? Telling.
I mean, nah, but I was just gonna say this. There are particular black comedians that do that just come out there and talk shit about the crowd, go and pick motherfuckers out the crowd, and they don't have these problems.
Yes,
and Will Smith is not about to be running up there and smacking the shit out of none of them. But it's not even about the type of comedian or the comedy. What I've watched comedy and loved comedy since I was a kid, and I've listened to some of the most disrespectful comics ever. Dolomite didn't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Richard Pryor didn't give a fuck. Eddie Murphy didn't give a fuck. These so at the end of the day, when you have Martin didn't give a fuck. So you know what I'm saying? Wow. So when you have those type of people and you were able to just die because everybody wasn't taking everything in life so serious. We're in a time now where you can't say shit about nothing. Without somebody or some group or somebody having a problem or issue with what you're saying. The G.I. Jane joke was bad. We all agree about that. This man did not deserve to get slapped behind it. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah, no, that's absolutely without a doubt. But just comedically, be funny if you roast people. And I disagree with Sidney Jackson. He said roasts are meant to hurt your feelings. No, roasts are meant to be funny. Yeah. That's what a roast is meant to do, is be funny. Sometimes you can hear some harsh truths in a hilarious roast. Those are the best. Like when you roast somebody on some shit that everybody's like, it's right there. And if you roast it the right way, it's brilliant. That's comedy. Like people get comedy and like the protection of free speech and shit all mangled up. Be funny, comedians. That's the first rule. Be funny. Amen. Everything else just works after that. And sometimes it's harder to be funny in a situation. So, it's just comedy. And like all the stuff, like the roast comedians you brought up, absolutely. But being in a comedy club, being in that situation and being at the Oscars, two totally different places. So like this, I look at this situation and I just look at it inside of its own, like inside of its own little ecosystem. Cause it was weird as fuck. That shit happened at the Oscars. People weren't at a comedy club, like drinking and shit, having a good time, whatever. They were at this really weird ass ceremony where everybody pats themselves on the back for 3 hours. You know what I mean? So it's like, it doesn't apply to general comic rules. I don't think so. I feel like we should just look at the situation in its controlled environment. You know what I mean? Without getting too hyperbolic about how it affects the rest of the world and the rest of comedy and shit.
Yeah. And Sydney, there's a big difference between hosting at the Oscars and doing a roast in which you are summoned to make jokes about the person who was made well aware in advance that there will be many jokes at their expense. So not to say that you're not right. Roasts can definitely be cruel, but when you're roasted and you're the roast master or the roastee, you typically know what you're getting into. Jada was at an award show. You know what I'm saying? She was watching it. She was just there. She wasn't being roasted. That wasn't her. But at the same time, I get it. Steph, what's up?
I was just going to say, I think there is a major difference between making fun of someone for their conscious behavioral choices versus their looks, which are frequently things that people can't control. Like if I come to a show, Vince, and you're like, yeah, that's my friend Steph. She's cool, but she's single because if she likes you, she'll try to get engaged in a week. I'm like, you're right. That shit is funny. But if you're like, yeah, there's my friend Steph. She's looking kind of fat today. I'm like, damn, Vince, like that really hurt my feelings. Like I'm not laughing. That shit is not going to be funny to me. Right. And Jada, Jada's not sitting in the front row of she didn't buy tickets to the front row of a comedy show thinking like, I'm going to take this risk to get roasted. She's there as her husband's date. He's nominated for an Oscar. I don't live in their life, but I can just imagine this woman who's openly talks about her insecurities with having to shave her head. She gets dressed up. Maybe she is feeling beautiful tonight. She's not feeling self-conscious. And here comes Chris Rock and that stupid joke pulling her out of a space where she was feeling good about herself. And now she's feeling shitty again about being bald. Like, that would be sad and disappointing for me too. And I absolutely understand both of them initially laughing in discomfort, because I've been there. Like, I've laughed at people, not in a very long time, like when I was a kid, but I've laughed at people telling Black jokes that were horrific and not funny at all, that made me feel terrible. But in the moment, didn't know what the fuck else to do. It was awkward, it was uncomfortable. So I was like, let me just blend in, go along with it so I can get out of this situation and go cry and be mad when I'm by myself. Like, when you're in a room full of people, you got cameras on you, it is a very human reaction to just laugh, to go along with what's happening, even if that doesn't reflect your true feelings at all. And I think that when Will did see how she really felt, he needed to react. And I actually agree very much with Bad Ty that he should have walked up to Chris and been like, yo, you need to apologize to my wife. There's 100 better ways he could have addressed it. But I think most people, I don't think that Will went through a list of great responses and chose the worst one. I think he just acted in the moment of, here's the first thing that popped into my head, I gotta respond in the moment, and he didn't stop and think about all the better responses, which most humans don't. How many of us have been in a situation and then afterwards been like, damn, I could have handled that 12 different ways that would be better, and I didn't choose any of those.
Yeah, agreed. Go ahead, Ty.
This is going to be the last point on this, and we can move on. But there's one dynamic that I don't think a lot of people are taking into consideration. Will had just done King Richard.
Yes.
He had just won Best Act. Well, I mean, he was about to win Best Actor award for his portrayal of King Richard. In this movie, if you haven't seen it, please go and see it. It's a very, very, very good movie. But what King Richard or Richard Williams did was he had a plan from the get-go of how things were going to go in his family, period. And if you were going against that in any way, shape, or form, you were on the outside looking in. That's what they said, that he got so deep into playing the role of Richard that he had to take therapy coming out of the role to try to, kind of, I guess, decompress from playing that actor. So I think the remnants of all of that were still in there. So I think that at that moment, that King Richard personality came out at that very moment, like, protect my family at all costs, no matter what.
I think you just helped my dramatic ass people argument. That's some dramatic ass person shit right there. It's like, King Richard just came through me and smacked Chris Rock. Like, fuck that. You better take your ass back to your seat with that bullshit.
Yo, listen. And so he's over there with Denzel and Tyler Perry. Like, I don't know what happened.
It wasn't me. It was King Richard.
I mean, he didn't. Are you saying he did the whole Daniel Day-Lewis, I am Abraham Lincoln, and thought he went to, he couldn't even? But I hate to see. Whoa! I hate to see what this had happened right after freaking Suicide Squad, bro. If he was dead shot, bro, it would have been a whole different story.
Oh shit!
He must have seen the premiere of Moon Knight before he came to Oscar.
Right. Yo, you onto something, Yaz, real quick, because I do something about that transaction, something about that transaction. That interaction says it's breathing of alcohol. Is anybody else get that same feeling, like that alcohol was involved in this? That judgment was put aside because inebriation was put to the forefront. I'm getting that there was some litness having to do with this, because sometimes when these things happen, like somebody brush on your shoe when you drunk. When you're not drunk, you're like, man, this motherfucker just stepped on my shoe. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck, man? I gotta clean that shit. When you drunk, you're like, oh fuck no. Yo, who the fuck that is stepped on my shoe? Yo, I bet you won't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get like this gravitas about you. And I think that Will may have been, this is a perfect storm of fucked upness, of calamitous materials that have combined Chris Rock bad joke, Jada Smith's unfortunate condition, Will Smith's ego, his fragility, his insecurity, and his inebriation, all in front of these major cameras that are being broadcast all over the world. I think it was a thing. And all I kept saying was, I just think that Chris Rock was also a victim of being Chris Rock, because we know that Will Smith would easily hit this rock, but would he have hit this rock the same way? I don't know. I doubt it. You know what I'm saying?
He
so
would
for
do
that,
it twice.
I doubt it. Seriously.
Just real quick, we don't have to get into it a ton, but after those videos resurfacing of Chris Rock sitting there encouraging his white friends to say the N-word and giving them permission, that man can get smacked as many times by as many black people as want to, and I'm never going to have a problem with it. Smack Chris Rock. Cool.
All right.
Go for it.
Okay. Spoiler alert. If you do come to my show, I do have a similar kind of joke.
Are we about to stop being friends? Because that shit is completely unacceptable. Like dead ass. We do not encourage white people to say the N-word.
Okay, wait. I have a similar joke. It's not anything like what Chris Rock is doing. It's much funnier, much better setup, and it's not the N-word per se. But if you want to see it, if you're interested, you have to come see it.
I don't think I am.
I've done it at Dreams.
I am interested.
I think you saw me do it at Dreams. I did it at Dreams, and it was hilarious. It's hilarious. I'll give you the setup. Just in case. And if you see me at my show, laugh as if you didn't see it. But basically, you know how Ethiopian the word is negus, right? Negus, Negus, and it's supposed to mean African king or whatnot. All right. Basically, I do a whole circle around this word, and it becomes, I think Yaz kind of gets where I go with it. Of course, I don't give folks permission to use the N-word. But I do dilly and dally around the notion of if white folks only knew that it meant king.
Okay, but Chris Rock is straight up like,
I know.
Hey, white guy friend of mine, you're so black, you can say the word. Say it right now. Haha, you said it. That's so funny. Keep doing it. Cool with me.
I'm not. That's not what I'm
You're
doing.
making a linguistic joke.
Yeah. No, Chris Rock is straight up giving folks permission and smiling in their face as they say it. That shit is wildly unacceptable.
As a comedian who lives and works in Florida, I am not encouraging anybody, especially of a lighter hue, to say the N-word, because they say it to us enough already as it is in passing, and they try to be slick about it, right, Tyrone? I was talking to my friend Dale the other day, and could you believe he was like, I can't believe these niggers keep moving, and I was like, hey, whoa, don't call them niggers. What's wrong with you, Dale? These niggers are not trying to hurt you. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how it happens in Florida. Like they say it, but they try to say it indirectly. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not saying it to you. I'm not saying it at you, but I'm saying it. Literally, who was it? It was Ash. Me and Ash Cash. We had went to this bar in Ocala after our show. A bunch of us. We went over there. This is where I caught COVID. All right. I'm pretty positive this is exactly where I caught COVID, in Ocala at this karaoke bar. And afterwards, this guy came up, man, I used to work at this strip club, and the owner walked up to me, was like, are you letting niggers in here? And I was like, oh my gosh, why would he say niggers to me like that? You know, and me and Ash were like, I was like, you don't have to say it. If it's really that bad, you don't have to say it. But in Florida, that's what we deal with. You know what I'm saying? It's unfortunate. You're faced with the decision. Do I Malcolm X this motherfucker now? You know what I'm saying? Do I give him the lesson that he deserves? Or do I just be like, yo, he's an asshole. I'll talk to him later when I'm on a bigger stage and I can make my point more prevalent. Yes, I see Tyrone, Charlene, and Steph both have things to say.
Steph was up before me, so go ahead, Steph.
Oh, that was a leave it to God. I can't deal with people's hands.
It's a real thing. Ask any black comedian in Florida who works multiple rooms, who doesn't just do the urban circuit. I don't even have to ask Tyrone. I'm almost positive at some point in time, some white dude has said the N-word indirectly at you, to you, but tried to do it in a manner that is like, it's cool, bro. It's me. You know what I mean? I don't mean it like that. You know what I'm saying? It's Ty, come on, Ty.
Yo, I gotta say this, man. So when I first moved to Florida, like I encountered this same scenario. So I'm chilling with my homeboy, and if you're watching Corey, man, go ahead and say something in the chat. Yo,
oh, you called him out. Whoa.
Yeah, hell yeah, I'm calling him out because he could factual this shit right here. He could confirm everything I'm about to say. So I'm chilling with him, and we at his homeboy's crib. So his homeboy is a white dude. So we're in there chilling, you know, we having a good time. Dude seems cool, everything like that. So he starts talking, boom, everything. I'm just chilling. Bum, 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 something, nigga. I said, whoa. Like, yo. I was like, what'd you say? He was like, nigga. And he said it like again. And I was like, yo. I was like, I'm looking at my man because this your man. And he looking at me like it's on you. So I'm telling him, like, yo, he's like, nah, me and Corey, we cool like that, man. So we cool. I said, yo, listen, I don't know you, and I don't know how cool you are, but we don't say that. Right. And when I say we, I mean you. You don't say that. You don't say that around me. And I'm telling you right now, if you say this shit again, I'ma slap the shit out you. And like and Corey will tell you, yo, I hope you in here, bro, because he will tell you that's exactly what I told that dude. Like, yo, if you say nigga one more time, I'ma slap the shit out of you. And I don't know you, but you his man. Where I'm from, I should have slapped you the first time you said it, but I'm only giving you because I know him,
right?
You know
what
I'm saying? But man, I talked to him, and he was like, then Corey gonna tell him, well, man, if he told you you can't say it, man, you just can't say it.
Yo, the funny thing, Ty, is this exact scenario played out in Bel Air, in the show Bel Air. If you watch the first two in the new show, the one that's on, I think it's Peacock,
which is a really good show, by the way.
It is a really good show.
Extremely good.
It is being slept on. Good. The new Fresh Prince is dope. Carlton is a cokehead. Well, I don't know if it's coke. It might be something else. He tries to say it's something else.
Jeffrey is smooth.
Yeah,
he's smooth and cool.
Jeffrey is a cool, a beer yard mind over there. So, young Ashley, I think she's a pronouner. You know what I'm saying? She's a pronoun one. And then Hillary Banks. Oh my God, such a beautiful dark skinned family. Oh, just look at Tyrone's like, oh, the pronoun thing.
Just like, back it on up, Vince.
I would slapped after this show.
Hold up, we can't hear you, Stephanie.
Yes.
I would say me and Tyrone both like I gotta push back on a pronouner. We all have pronouns. all of us are pronouners.
All right, here's my point when I say that. There are some of us that when we write down on our bio, we write, okay, comedian, actor, philanthropist. Some of us will write comedian, actor, philanthropist, he, his. You know what I'm saying? Or also we'll put the rainbow or, bi or whatever these other things are. When I mischaracterized, and this was a terrible joke, and I'd get slapped if I said this if she was here. And so I don't mean it. But what I meant was that they're putting her in the realm.
Maybe you should stop and not say it.
Oh, all right. Well, look, sometimes as a impulsive somebody who says things at the top of their mind will say things and then accidentally take it right back because we shouldn't have said it in the first place. But it's too difficult to always filter out only what's going to work. You know what I'm saying? As a comedian, sometimes you try things and they don't work, and then you just have to suffer the consequences. That's the road we choose. In this particular instance, my apologies if I was offensive. I didn't mean to be, but my purpose was just to say this is somebody who I believe is going to give us the point of view of one who views the world through the eyes of somebody who's non-traditional, non-binary, things of that sort. So that was the objective of me saying that. Didn't mean for it to go so many layers. But yeah, man, that's what I think that this whole new cast is bringing to the table. And I'm loving it, especially that they bring them all to the dark-skinned Aunt Viv's hue. Now, I haven't said that, and I don't know where Phoenix keeps popping in and out, so help you stick around. Having said that, I think that's kind of relevant. We all kind of deal with that, I guess, not just comedians, with having to deal with folks who think that the N-word is something that is as a right of entitlement. Like, look, bro, I should be able to say it and you should accept it. And that's the way it is. It's like, yo, you say it, sure, but also accept these hands. You know what I'm saying? Like, accept the fact that this, this like my daughter goes through it as a, I'm in the Pookie, and the dude who, the guy who waves at you when you're driving by because the kids are crossing the road, the crosswalk guy, the guy at my daughter's school, he has a Confederate flag in his yard. He literally has a Confederate flag in his yard. He does this from his house. And I didn't know it was his. All these years I've been driving up to the school. I'm like, hey, what's up? And my daughter's like, that's his house. I was like, that's his house. With the Confederate flag flying high, like that's.
He has nothing to do with the school. He's just like, go ahead, little kids, cross the street right here. Like, it's just me, old Confederate Jim. Just go ahead, black kids.
Yeah. He's like, oh, well,
everything's fine. Yeah,
go ahead.
Don't trust that dude.
Little traffic, Tyrone, you're fine. But you, Beth, hold on a minute. There's a car coming. So this is one of those things we kind of deal with in Florida. But I think we've said enough. Definitely, we all have our opinions about Will. And even Nicole in the comments was asking, well, why didn't Jada stop him? Well, I don't know if she knew that he was about to go up and do that. You know what I'm saying? So, or maybe she should have. Who knows? It seems like it was all impulse driven, as comedy is. You think she knew? You think she sent him?
Come on, man. Listen, you married, bro. You married. Yo, my wife, after seeing that, looked at me and she said, "Oh, I already know what you would have did." Like that's that, and I love that about my. I love that she knows that her man is like that's what I'm on that, like that. I'm on it. Like, don't worry.
Oh my God.
But at the same time, like, I feel like if he chuckled it off, you could chuckle it off. She didn't want to chuckle it off. She was like on some, I want to show my discontent, and I want to show it openly. Like she did. There was nothing. She knows the cameras are on her. This is your man's night. The cameras are going to be on you all night long. You showed it. Every time they said a joke, when Regina Hall said her joke, pan to Will and Jada for reaction. Chris Rock says joke, pan to Will and Jada for reaction. This shit is all staged. They got all this shit going on. Like this shit is like, oh, let's, I don't think the slap was predicted. They was like, oh, we're gonna push the envelope a little bit. But hey, this is what happened. Will Packer, you got the probably highest selling Oscars TV ratings in history.
Shout out to FAMU, Will Packard. I see you, homeboy. You better pull on up, bruh. You know what I'm saying? But I'll say this also, that I don't think that Jada, I think that if I know, and I can't speak from experience because but if I'm not mistaken, and Steph and Yaz, y'all could probably chime in, but by this time, Jada has already worn her hair out, her new hairstyle, and has probably had multiple comments in her face, online, side comments that have probably pushed her to the point where she's like, all right, another one that, oh, you're going to jump on that bandwagon. And almost Chris Rock, damn near by saying things like that, if she does not protest, is giving credence to more of these comments. So I could already see why Jada's like, come on, bro. You too, man. Give me a break. You know what I'm saying? And for me personally, I think G.I. Jane was terrible as a reference, just as a comedic standpoint. Some kids are like, what the fuck is G.I. Jane? You know what I'm saying? Adora Milaje reference possibly would have gone over a little better, especially if done respectably. You know what I'm saying?
It could have been a compliment joke.
Of course, that's where I would have went, and I would have been more current with the references. Like G.I. Jane, I think is in the 1900s. So also for me, I would have been like, oh motherfucker. Now as a comedian, I'm like, I get that mic back, bitch. And now I know I'm going to win an award, and I know that 30 seconds of my acceptance speech is going to be a Chris Rock roast, where I get to talk about his failed marriages. Perhaps. I don't know. I probably wouldn't go there. But that's what I probably would have did. Anyway, I think Chris Rock and Will Smith will be on tour soon. And we'll all be laughing. We'll laugh all the way to the ticket sales office with this. And we'll probably see Chris Rock play a small role as a zombie in I Am Legend 2, co-starring Michael B. Jordan. But they definitely had a good time. And hopefully he's in better shape because I don't know which one of these Wills you'd want to slap you. But I probably would take Dad Will over I Am Legend Will. But
depends on who you ask.
Where did you get that other photo from? Like, it's like a DM photo right here.
What? This one?
The one where he's like all like posing and stuff. It's like a DM photo. Like
you haven't seen.
Vince got the premium subscription. You don't. That's why we don't see it.
I'm on his. I have his OnlyFans page. Yo, that's from I Am Legend. You haven't seen I Am Legend? Like the soul.
I'm not talking about that one. I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about the other one where he's just like, like.
He said, "I'm gonna make you look at this titties."
It's that kid. My wife took this picture. She's like, "Pose looks sexy for me." He's like, "How's this, baby?"
Yeah, that's the one he posted when he was in the middle of getting ready for King Richard. Man, he was showing his body changing and stuff like that. So. Yeah,
that's a sexy
yeah, that's the one he slid. He shot that to my DM, and I was like, no, Will, I don't go that way. You know what I'm saying? I know you mad at August and Jada, but no, sir. I'm cool. All right, I'm striking out.
Let's transition to Moon Knight.
Let's do that, please, if you don't mind. Anyway, Moon Knight, or do we want to do Morbius first?
I didn't get to see it.
I'll gladly don't see it.
I think Tyrone is chomping at the bit. So how about we'll talk Moon Knight and then we'll roast Morbius. But Moon Knight,
it's roasted.
Right, I was gonna say it was bad.
Well, all I'm saying, I didn't see it
for a reason.
But I will say that Tyrone is not giving me hope, just based off of his.
Okay, so wait, Tyrone is the only one on the panel who has seen it.
Yeah,
it sounds like it. Oh wait, Talim, you didn't see it?
No, I didn't get a chance to see it, man. I didn't get a chance to see it.
So, all right.
Minnie's like, fuck Morbius. It was that bad?
Oh my God, yo, did Minnie say that? Yo,
dang.
Whoa, Minnie.
He said, "I told y'all it was trash." What?
Oh wow. Damn. Okay, well we're already in here, man. Look, let's not spend too much time. How about this? Without telling us the movie, just give us your opinion on the movie.
Keep Morbius.
This is a movie. I'm gonna tell you, Vince. I would love to spoil this movie for everybody, so people don't go spend money to see this movie.
Oh my God!
That's how. Yeah, that's how. I've never been so bored watching a movie in my life. I've never been that bored in a movie theater before. It was so boring. It was just like there was nothing to this movie. The end credit scenes were offensive. Like I'm like, you really trying to do this shit to us? Like, please stop.
It's Sony.
Please stop. I'm telling you, they're gonna fuck up Spider-Man. They're gonna fucking do it. They are gonna fuck up Spider-Man messing with these movies. Sony's trying to get that money, and they are willing to destroy everything to get it.
Oh my God, yo! So it's really that bad, bro?
Okay, so hey, can we do a comparison real quick?
Yeah.
So compared to the new Batman movie, how bad was this compared to the Batman movie? Like which one was
the new
better?
Batman movie was far better. It was the new Batman movie. Even though like it's not my favorite Batman stuff, it was a good movie. Like it was well shot, well acted. Like they did they made a good movie. You know what I mean? This was just not at all. Damn, it was rough. There was barely any blood in a movie that starred vampires. What the hell are you people doing? Like that's ridiculous. They did more scratching than they did biting.
Wow.
So it was PG-13?
Yeah, all the fighting was scratching. That's all the fighting was just scratching around.
He's a vampire.
Yeah. What else? I'm just trying to give you little things, to hopefully so you don't go and waste money on this movie. Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Remember how I was like, that movie was garbage? I had a good time watching that movie. I was like, this is bad, but this is fun, right? Like I was like, I'm enjoying how bad this is. Couldn't even enjoy how bad Morbius was. I was like, please just end this. The best thing about this movie was that it was under 2 hours. Like it was
okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God. The best part about it was that it was under 2 hours.
Yeah, because I don't know if I could have done anything over that. Like it would have been rough.
So Jared's performance was just dry.
It was everything about that. Like nobody showed up and had a good time in that movie. Like it was just
everything. Damn.
Yeah,
except for Dark Secret, apparently.
Yeah,
shut your mouth.
I've seen
I think that was just Dark Secret just dropped a nice little Will Smith callback. That was good.
Oh.
Cheers to you, Dark Secret. Very, very well done. But yeah, no, it was
Order 66.
Yeah, I say please don't go see Morbius. Sony needs to know they can't keep doing this. Like if Morbius is any like I was like Craven, okay, that might be fun. And now I'm just like, please don't.
No,
Just stop messing with
We should
people.
protest against Sony making movies now. Is that what you're saying? Like taking over like Marvel movies? Is that what you're saying, Tyrone?
Oh no, see that's the thing. Like Marvel Studios killing it. Y'all doing a great job.
Yeah, but that's associated though.
It's associated with Marvel because they own the Spider-Man property. So they get to stay in association with Marvel. They get to put that up there. So we're all like, yay, Marvel. Because if they just put Sony up there, we're like, I don't know about this. You know what I mean? Sony's smart. They know exactly what they're doing. But yeah, this movie was and it can't even really blame the actors because they were given nothing. If you like the trailer, I would tell you the trailer, you know the whole movie. Like you know the entire movie by watching the trailer. There was nothing more about all the action in the movie was in the trailer, and it was just boring.
Well, that's very disappointing.
You know, it's disappointing, but it's not surprising, if I may say so myself. Sony has been completely off the mark in everything except for the Amazing Spider-Man and the first Spider-Man trilogy, which started falling off the tracks after halfway through Spider-Man 2. This whole we're going to strong arm Marvel Studios by monopolizing Spider-Man characters is backfiring on them. I would highly recommend that they listen to Tom Holland and follow the Marvel Studios brand and allow them to relinquish the rights to these characters and just take your cut of the movie and let Marvel make the movie.
Real, dude.
Collect the money.
You gotta do nothing but just collect, and you're mad about that? Stop being a bitch. You put your pride away.
You don't gotta produce anything. You don't gotta direct
like a dick
anything. Just sit
contest.
back and just let the money roll in.
Yes.
There's gonna be so much of it. Yeah.
No, bro. Hold on, Sony. Please. I haven't thought this in advance, so I hope I don't say nothing that gets me slapped. But Sony, what the fuck, bro? You gonna try to strong arm all of the Spider-Man characters because you think that that's gonna be your key to fame? Meanwhile, you're gonna make shitty movies out of Spider-Man characters? Marvel's whole bread and butter, bruh. This is not acceptable. Look at what DC did with the Joker. Look at what these other brands are doing with underdeveloped characters, and you're taking main characters and shitting on them. And now you want us to look forward to stuff like Kraven, who sucks as a character, by the way. You got Mahershala Ali dressed up as Blade. You better not fuck that up, or we will
that's MCU.
We will protest. We will
Blade.
Storm your capital, motherfucker. So please get this shit together. This does not have to be a divorce. You guys can actually work together. Be married, filing separate. Let them run the movies, and you take your cut. You don't have to fuck up the movie. You're fucking up the brand. And next thing you know, when these other brands come in, like Dark Horse and these and what the Black Sands and these other independent comic book brands that are going to take the forefront in the next 50, 75 years, you're going to be a relic, Sony, and they're going to remember how much you fucked up these characters when they're redeveloping them for their own brands. I'll step up my soap.
Yo, Vince, can I get it real quick? Just real quick. I want to add. Let me get a little close up. I want to talk to Sony too directly, if you don't mind.
Please.
Look, Sony. I know I said a lot of things, but if you ever wanted to give somebody a job, on a movie or a show or something, like just, hit me up. Just saying, like it's all love. That's all.
Hold on. Time out. Bring it in.
Okay. Yes. All right. Come on.
Bring it in. I agree with Lisa. Sony, bitch of the week.
Oh shit.
Yes. And this has been Yaz's bitch of the week. Yo, that's right, man. Sony, yo, just chill, man. Just sit back, collect reap the benefits of the Marvel Studios land, bro. Like all you gotta do is you have the characters, all right? Just give them the rights to the movies. You keep the rights to the characters. You get to put your brand at the end of the credits. Everybody's happy. But the more you try to upstage the Marvel Studios brand with Marvel characters, the more foolish you look. And the more you take us comic book fans down with you, because nothing made me more happy than looking forward to going to the movies this weekend. And now I got to go mad as hell expecting a piece of shit movie.
Or hey, maybe I'm dumb and maybe I'm wrong. I don't want to ruin your time. Maybe you'll love it. You won't. Don't see it.
You won't.
But real quick, Dizzy, great point. Yeah, stick to Spider-Verse. You nailed it. You did it.
Yes.
Like, do that more. Like, and also to Lisa's point and to your earlier point, Blade is MCU, so we're good on Blade. Sony can't mess with us on Blade. Like the vampire Morbius connection, they've had that connection in the comics and stuff, but property wise, Blade belongs to the MCU, and Sony can't touch him.
Thank God. All right. Well, then we look forward to you fucking up Craven, which never should have been a character in the first place. And why Madam Web is being put into the mainstream fray, I know not. But keep digging yourself into this grave. What's up, Ty?
Yeah, I'm just looking online at some of the reviews, man, and I do trust Tyrone in most things, but I'm just saying like they like a lot of people are saying this was a really good movie. Like the first 3 reviews I'm seeing, this movie was really good. So don't listen to the critics because they are all wrong. This movie has lots of action and suspense and thrills. So, come on, what's not to like?
That's Jared Leto. He reviewed that shit. That's the cast of the movie and the director right there. They're like, hey, y'all get on the audience reviews. Focus on, we need some 5 stars, y'all. Get on there and do that shit.
And all his fans and family members, they hey, I need y'all to go to IMDb and give us some. Yeah, man. Look, we'll have to decide for ourselves, bro. I'm sorry that the comments, the reviews aren't in sync.
I could be, and I've been wrong before. It's not a big deal. I do, but now I'm interested to hear your take. You should.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, I'll pay for half your ticket. I'll Venmo you $7.25 and just to get your opinion after the fact.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna still see it. Don't worry.
I'm gonna go see it, man.
You can't stop me from seeing it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, same here. I'm gonna go see it.
Go see it. We'll all hate on it next week.
Enthusiastically is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But in terms as Marvel stuff goes, so that's something we're not looking forward to. But Moon Knight did premiere this week, and it was interesting. I am curious to go around the room here and just get our opinions on it. I'm assuming we all got a chance to check it out. Let's start with Yaz, go to Steph if she got a chance, then to Tyrone and Talim. What were your thoughts on this first episode of Moon Knight, Yaz?
Oh my God, so many thoughts. I thought it was amazing acting for one. Oscar Isaac definitely just blew me out of the water with the the different phases, I guess, and depth to his character. He definitely he nailed this personalities perfect, and I can't wait to see and progress and meet Mark and the god, the Egyptian god that took over him. I can't remember his name, but I'm kind of loving everything about this. Like, I watched it again just to make sure that I didn't miss anything, and I was so happy to see that I was right about certain things, and it showed us in the first episode. So I cannot wait to see what the rest of this season has to come. Just saying.
Nice. I happen to agree with you a little bit. Steph, did you get a chance? Or I know you're traveling the world. Your feelings, hatred, no hatred?
I wouldn't describe it as hatred, but mostly it made me sad. I felt bad for that man. He clearly does not want any part of these heroics and shenanigans. Just really talk about a hero against his will. At least, Peter Parker is like, I just want to be a high school student. This sucks, but I choose to save the world. Like, this poor man has no interest. He's just waking up 4 days later like, what did I do?
I don't feel like he has no interest. I feel like he's unaware. You know what I'm saying? I
feel like he would not choose this. If he had an option to be like, take this burden from me, he would. I feel confident he would. So I just feel bad for him.
I love the take. Okay. Tyrone, what's up, bro?
Yeah, I like what Stephanie said, because it shows how good of a job Oscar Isaac is doing. He's acting the shit out of this role. It's so fun to watch him, and he's clearly having a good time with it. But also he brings a lot of sincerity to it. He's, you really do feel for Stephen Grant. You're like, damn, this poor dude. He's just trying to live his life. The date didn't work out because of how his life is and stuff. So it's really fun when they switch back and forth. From comedy to horror, like the way they do that, like you know, you're watching this, you know, really funny comedy bits, and then all of a sudden you're in the middle of a horror movie.
Right.
You got this werewolf creature chasing you through a museum, and you know, the way they're using the angles and reflections and stuff, just really well done. Ethan Hawke, I think, is going to be a good villain. You know, he was very just stoic in this first episode.
Yeah,
but we'll see how he evolves as he's more and more motivated to, you know, kind of win Stephen Grant over. Maybe if that's his motivation. But yeah, I'm digging this. I'm really digging this. I think they're doing a great job. And I'm not somebody who's very, very familiar with Moon Knight, so a lot of this is fresh to me. So that's been cool too.
Yeah, I think that's one of the best parts of it too, is being able to, and that's what Marvel Studios, frankly, has excelled at, is introducing non-mainstream comic book characters and making you love them. Ant-Man, Captain Marvel. I mean, we can argue whether they're mainstream. They do have their own comic book series, but are they at the forefront of these things? You know what I'm saying? Ty, what you thought about it?
I mean, I'd agree with everybody up here that it's a great show. The acting is superb. The latest Gators.
Oh my god, I love that.
Latest Gators. I like, that was just like that. Every time you said it, I was like, yo, this is so corny. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm curious to see where the show goes. Just because we have no like real backstory yet, as far as like what led up to him strapping himself to a bed, what led him to, you know, putting the tape on the door. So he, you know, I want to see. I mean, I think these next few episodes are going to be, we're going to see what he was doing as Mark. You know what I'm saying? Now that Mark is taking over. So, you know, who was that on the telephone? I got so many questions.
Right.
So, you know, but overall, I think it's a great show. I think it's going to be another masterpiece that they keep hitting us in the head with, man. It looks like every time we watch one of these series, is it me or do you feel like you're at the movies?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like everything feels cinematic every time I watch these. So, you know, except for the first 2 episodes of WandaVision, but
Hater.
outside of that, but yeah.
Yo, Mark Spector, all right, if I'm not mistaken, is one of the egos, one of the characters. What I really love, I mean, I hate that I love, you know, I have this unhealthy, weird, I don't want to call it obsession, but fascination with England. You know, I don't know if it's because of Uhtred, son of Uhtred, and him taking back Bebinba, or if it's just the the architecture.
It's the culture.
No, it's definitely not the culture. It's something else that draws me to it. I like the double-decker buses. I like the architecture and all of that. But there's something about it. And so for us to have a show that has, it seems to have some based lightly in London. Not an American-based show, which even though Mark has the American accent, and it's fascinating to me because we don't get that too often. I mean, we had Agent Carter as Captain Carter, and that was, you know, representing Britain and all that. But this is kind of fascinating to me to see that whole dynamic, you know, all the British accents and all that other stuff. And to hear his British accent, it was pretty good. Yes.
Isn't he British though? I thought he was British.
Nah, he's
killing it then. He's killing it again.
What's up, Steph?
It's just a side note. Like, I understand shows like this require a suspension of disbelief, but I'm really bothered by him just suddenly being in that big ass costume. There's no way it was under his clothes. Like, did he have it hidden in the bathroom?
No, it shows you, it wraps around him.
Wait, let her. Hold on, let her.
Oh no! If there's an explanation, please give it to me. Where did it come from?
Okay, so like it shows you like right before he was changing, like right before he was like what you call it, what the fuck? He said to Steven, he was like, give me the body. You want the body, you're not gonna die. Give me the body. And like right before, you know, like they changed the creature blasted the door, and like right as soon as like the creature is about to blast through the door, you see his costume just like wrapping around him, kind of like it's like a mummy costume. It's fucking cool. It was like literally like he was getting like wrapped, you know, to be put in a sarcophagus, and then next thing you see is like the freaking little creature like trying to get out the door, and he's like pulling him back and beating the shit out of him, and then like you just see him turn around and he's just like looking dope as fuck with his glowing eyes. So it was kind of like it didn't just come from somewhere. I don't know where the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like that dude just I don't know. It's magic. Steph.
It's a spoiler to explain it.
Correct.
To explain his costume, but it's summoned. It's like there's elements that aren't physical. It's very mystical and stuff like that. But it's spoiler to get too deep into the explanation.
Yeah. That makes me feel better.
It wasn't. He didn't go into a phone booth and have to change. Or anything like that.
Even that like makes me feel better. There's a phone booth moment. It just the way I was watching it, it looked like he was just in his like regular civilian clothes, and then he was just in the outfit, and I was like, I don't like it.
Yeah, we're getting into really cool elements of Marvel that are like you know, like more mystical elements, you know, gods, demons, things like that. It's about to get real crazy, and this show is going to be the big jump into that. And I think by the end of it, you'll be I think you'll enjoy the costume.
Well, I mean, in our defense, you know, Marvel has already given us gods. We've got Loki, we've got Odin.
Oh yeah, Thor and stuff.
You know, I think even for a short period. Oh no, that was Justice League. I was gonna say we saw. Was it Hercules that we saw battling with the Justice League when they were fighting against Steppenwolf? So yeah, the gods thing, but Egyptian gods, African gods. That's something that we haven't really delved into. So I'm like geeked up about it because you saw them mention Osiris, Heru. Now we have within this wheelhouse Nefertiti. We have the, you know, I know these aren't, I don't know if everybody, these are African gods. The Egyptians used to worship the sun god Ra. Some of them did. There's a whole historical element to this that I'm looking forward to. And I'm very much also looking forward to how they hew some of these characters as well, if I may speak frankly, because there's this ongoing battle about, you know, with Black people and the ownership of Egypt, because it does exist in Africa. And having to kind of wrestle with the concept of it possibly being a multicultural city, because we know Alexandria wasn't too far from it, and it was one of those places where the Greeks and Romans would come to educate themselves because of the libraries in Alexandria, and this is where they learned astronomy and mathematics and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that they get into that element and don't just make it just about the gods, but at the same time, I'm happy that they are even talking about Egyptian mythology.
I think that what they'll probably end up doing with the gods and their representation on screen, I think they're going to go like more towards the creature aspect. So like, you know, you'll see something that looks more like a jackal than a human. You know, you'll see something that looks more, you know, like I think that's how they're going to portray the gods when it does come to that. If anybody is portrayed, I do trust Marvel to represent cultures the way they're supposed to be represented. Lately, I think Marvel Studios has given us enough to be like, all right, I think you guys are going to get this right. You know what I mean? Like they've been doing well, I think.
I hope so. So we're dealing with the transformative character, Steph, not one who has no. This is a guy. These are mythical powers. All right. So this isn't somebody who changes his outfit, although there will be changes of outfits. Like there's more than you're gonna notice that there's not only one version of Steven, but there's also multiple versions of Moon Knight. Like this, I did do some late catching up to some of the late Moon Knight comics, and this character is very fascinating. And one of the things that I love about this character is Steven, is his vulnerability. Is he can be killed. You know, we haven't seen any show like this yet. This gives me Memento meets I was telling Tyrone, it gives me Memento meets Legion. You know what I'm saying? It's a cerebral action-based thriller comedy. And that's dope, right? I don't know where we'd get anything else like that in Moon Knight. And as we learn more about him, and like I said, you mentioned Ethan Hawke's character. Like, what the fuck is up with that? You don't mind me asking, like, who goes to a dude and asks, look, am I good enough to live or not? Like, why? What was that whole, you know what I'm saying? Like, is anybody else finding that like hella creepy? That
well, it seems that Ethan Hawke's character, Arthur Harrow, has positioned himself, he's chosen or chose himself to be essentially the right hand of another Egyptian god.
Yeah.
And kind
Amet.
of that god.
Yeah.
Amet is working through him. Or so he says, so it appears as though he's sort of almost in a way like a cult leader. And I think that's kind of what they're going for. I think they've even kind of established that's what they're going for, is that he's, made himself into a bit of a, prophet / cult leader, that kind of thing. So yeah, how the tattoo and stuff like makes you, when we saw the tattoo changing colors and changing its orientation and stuff, it's like, okay, like, was he chosen? Like, this, I mean, this dude's sucking the life out of people like this.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah, like, I'm not gonna lie. Somebody came to my town and started like taking people's souls and shit. I might be like, maybe I should.
Everyone was cool too. Like, everyone in the crowd was cool. Like, no one said shit about the old lady dying.
Yeah,
they're just like, oh, she died.
And the messed up part was that it was something she hadn't even. He was like, I don't know if it's something you did or something you was gonna do. It was like, yo, you mean I ain't even did this shit yet? I haven't even done it yet. You know what I'm saying?
She's an old lady.
Yeah.
Tell me what I'm gonna do. I won't do it. You know what? Can I? Let me get 5 more minutes. Let me go say bye to my family. I got to clear my internet history. Like, give me some time to fix this.
And I don't think he's, I doubt he's being honest. I doubt everything is exactly as he's saying. I'm sure there's, a lot darker motivation going on, but it was still, that you still got to question, like, all right, obviously he has some sort of power. There's some sort of connection to something real that he's experiencing and able to show off. So it's like, is he being used by this god? Is he kind of taken over, or is he like very willingly like, yeah, let's go fuck shit up?
Ty, there's an element of Don Knotts for A Generation Lost that I think exists within this show. I'm getting the Ghost and Mr. Chicken vibes every time Steve is woken up. He's like, oh my God, what, Mr. Chicken? I don't know. Where am I? Am I in the car? I'm driving over a truck, over a cliff. Hey, Andy, what do I do? Like,
it's a good British accent, by the way. I like it. I'm kidding.
I love it though. I love. This is the first. Marvel keeps breaking firsts. We don't have this in anybody else. I mean, we saw versions of it with Jane in Doom Patrol. And other comic book characters that have multiple personalities, but here's one that is completely oblivious to his other personalities. You know what I'm saying? And wakes up with bruises, not knowing what the hell happened, and is hated by his other person. Like, oh, the idiot's back. You know what I'm saying? the dude would get mad whenever Steve is back. He's like, oh, this asshole has the wheel. You know what I'm saying? I love that, Ty. I mean, and I just think that's one of the things that's making it so that this and mark my words, Steph. I think that as each episode, you'll become even more intrigued, because if my reading is serving me correctly, there's so many more layers to be pulled off when we're talking about this Moon Knight character. And what does it say in the Marvel Cyclopedia about what we should look forward to?
Yes.
Well, is getting that. I would say Minnie made a good point that he demonstrated his willingness by walking on that glass and stuff in his shoes. So,
yeah.
Well, that was the villain, right? That wasn't.
Yeah. That's and sorry, just jumping back. I didn't segue. That I needed a classic Vince Taylor segue, and I failed.
Do that again? All right.
No, I don't. I would rather just erase that from history and never speak of it again.
All right, cool. Nah, man. Yeah, so I think that's something definitely to look forward to, man. So I think that if this was the first episode of many good episodes, that we have a lot to look forward to. And another thing that I point out, guys, is that this is a standalone show right now. In other words, this is not a show that is resting. Oh, hey, there's a hey.
What up, y'all?
This is not a show that is resting on the backs of other shows. Let's think about all the other Disney releases. Every other Disney release thus far has been a spinoff or a show that's connected with something else. All right, we had WandaVision, that's from Avengers. All right, we had Falcon and Winter Soldier, that's from Avengers. All right, what else do we have? We had Loki, Avengers. What else, babe? What else do we have? Those are the
Hawkeye.
three. Hawkeye, Avengers. Moon Knight is the first. What If? Avengers. Good. Go ahead. That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's what I'm talking about. I thought over here. So this is the first Disney Marvel related show that does not, at least as of this moment, it didn't get introduced to us through the MCU. So it's holding its own thus far. I wouldn't be surprised if we do end up getting introduced to some MCU characters as the show progresses. But this is illustrating that Disney has the capability of developing characters of the Marvel brand without necessarily having to do it off the backs of the movies, because that was what it seemed like at first.
I mean, kind of guilty by association, right? Like, I mean, like it's just Marvel is kind of the momentum. Like, it's just the trajectory is up. So as long as they don't fuck it up.
Well, they can't because okay. Well, wait, but listen. This is why. So you told me to get out, the encyclopedia. So I did. All right.
Yes.
All right. So it says here that Moon Knight later joins the Avengers in their fight against the X-Men.
Shit!
What are we about to happen in the multiverse right now? We're about to have most characters we've ever seen in the MCU in one movie. Are we not? Huh? And then Moon Knight just came out. And they're all connected.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways that connects throughout the comics, for sure, without a doubt. The thing to point out in this case is Oscar Isaac has not signed on to do future stuff yet.
Right.
That's
not
this.
Happen.
What?
Right. Yeah, and we think he's really not going to sign up for that.
I don't know. Like they made it a point to not have that in mind when they did the show, as far as he was saying. And now he might be just doing the Marvel thing and doing some Cloak and Dagger type stuff. But from what has been said and from what we know so far, Oscar Isaac hasn't signed on to do anything in the future quite yet. Obviously, I'm sure with the hype around this show so far, and I imagine what it will be, I wouldn't be surprised if that changed. But
okay,
I temper it for now, just in case. We don't want to add disappointment.
But whether it did or not, Tyrone, that doesn't change that the character still exists.
Right.
I mean, whether or not Oscar Isaac is Moon Knight or not, if Moon Knight has success and Oscar decides that he doesn't want to, carry on the mantle, then guess what?
Oh yeah, Marvel will recast your ass, like without a doubt. But I will say, I think that would be a loss for us as the audience, because Oscar Isaac's killing this, and
for sure.
Like however much we see Moon Knight, I hope he's played by Oscar Isaac.
So can I ask you guys a question?
Of course.
The cupcake scene. Did you guys notice anything in that scene?
I didn't.
What'd you notice?
13 cupcakes.
No, the boxes
12.
inside of the cupcake machine, like inside of the cupcake vehicle, were Von Doom boxes. There were Von Doom cupcakes.
I'm not 100% on that, like on that being the thing. Like I see it. Like I see what people are saying looks like Von Doom stuff, and I can and we'd love to.
I'm just saying they were in a different country. Okay. True. Probably, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know which country they were in. It didn't tell us which country they were in. All right, the people didn't really speak English. The dude was yelling at the other dude from the balcony in some kind of language. You know why he was waving at him?
Saying it could be Latveria.
It could be.
It could be. You never know. But I'm just saying he randomly hijacked a damn cupcake vehicle that it said one name, and then the boxes inside were Von Doom boxes. So I'm just saying
that. Hey, listen, we'll say this, Yaz. Marvel does not make mistakes, and then Marvel does not put stuff, in a place for it to be seen on accident. So right. I share Tyrone's skepticism, but I also share your optimism in that Marvel wouldn't put it there if they didn't want it to be seen by the likes of folks like yourself and make assumptions from it. So let's just
paused it just to make sure.
That's some stuff that they caught back in like when the first trailer dropped, the first big trailer, like they're pouring over every frame, and that's some stuff that was definitely caught and discussed and everything. It's it's one of those beauties in the eye of the beholder type things.
Yeah. All right, well I'll wait to just prove y'all wrong. So let's just wait. All right, I'll be that one that be like, I told you so. When it all finally connects.
I think overall, yes, you're gonna be right regardless, because I think that the whole purpose of having the multiverse of madness and is to be able to bring in all of these different characters that they wanted to spotlight. So Doom is an integral part of the MCU, and definitely they're gonna, at some point we're gonna see Doom. There's no way around it.
Not known for cupcakes though.
Probably not cupcakes. Yeah.
I think that's like my thing is I don't know if that's how they're gonna be like, hey, you guys know this Dr. Doom guy, right?
Okay, but remember, Dr. Doom was very okay. But remember, Dr. Doom sold a lot of shit incognito on like behind. You know what I'm saying? Like when he worked,
including cupcakes. No, and I get it. I totally get it. I'm with you. And I hope, but I hope. What if they're like, what if he was like, yes, I fooled you with my cupcake ruse, and now I rule the world. Like I would be super excited.
Maybe the cupcakes help him electrocute people. You ever think about that?
They're like,
yeah, that's it. It's an electric
conduit.
Cupcake. That's it. Mind control.
Well, let's do this, man. I think that we have all expressed pretty kind stuff about Moon Knight. I think it has promise. I think that it definitely is giving us stay vibes. So it's not something that we're going to fall off. Kind of like I started falling off of, Doom Patrol and Titans and all that stuff. So we'll probably get 6 to 8 dope episodes, and hopefully it continues. 6? Yeah. Oh, dang, 6. Oh, that means one is even more. So we got, all right, cool. Steph, I know you're hanging in there, mama. If you doze off, no pressure. It's all good. We know you're dedicated. But I know this next part is probably not going to, I don't know if you've been in this at all. Before we go, guys, we've already discussed Moon Knight, Will Smith. We've already talked about the lovely Morbius movie, which we're all looking forward to falling asleep in. But I could not go away today without discussing something that I discovered this week, even though I started watching it last week. And I'm starting to come around a little bit for this. And this Halo series is starting to actually really give me good show vibes. Even though I still, for some strange reason, I still think that something within me will not let me love it. You know what I'm saying? But there are things about it that I do love. Before I say my piece, I know Tyleem and Tyrone have voiced their love. Well, at least they've said some positive things. I mean, Tyrone, what you like about it? What for those who haven't seen it yet, should they watch? If so, why?
Yeah, I went in this expecting to like see some cool video game references and then being like, but it's not a great show, but I'll watch it here and there because I've been a Halo fan since day one. Like I even read Halo books. Like I was a Halo nerd. Yeah, so like I know some stuff about this show that if they go the way that I'm thinking they're going, it's gonna be pretty crazy. But yeah, no, they actually, I feel like they did it. I feel like they actually kind of nailed this Halo thing. They know their lane. Like they're not trying to make it too serious as far as like, they're not scared of portraying the elites and the weapons and the vehicles exactly as they are in the game. They're not trying to be like, oh, it's gritty and real and blah blah. They're like, nah, this is Halo. This is sci-fi. This is video game shit. Like we're gonna have a good time with it. The acting is not bad. I'm surprised at like the pleasant surprise for me has been that the plot is actually pretty decent and they're actually telling a pretty fun story. It's not perfect, and at times it feels like they're trying to like reach Expanse levels but not quite making it. There's a character who specifically it makes me feel like they're trying to give us an Avasarala who in Expanse was amazing, but in this show like this character is just not anywhere near that level of charisma. But it's honestly, I would give it a watch. It's been a fun time, and again, visually, it's just perfect.
Tyleem, what's up?
Yo, I'm with Tyrone. I said from day one I thought it was fire. The action is crazy. You know, the fact that they get graphic with it, and they're real. I mean, you know, typically, you know, we're used to Star Wars movies and stuff like that where you get shot with a laser cannon, and you know, you just, you know, have like a burnt mark on you and shit. In this, you get shot with a laser cannon. There's a hole through. There's like, there's whole, you know, you get shot in the leg, your leg's not there anymore. You're not, you know, this is like this. So that for me is always exciting when you think about when you think of an action science fiction action kind of series. I'm total opposite than Tyrone. I hated Halo. I didn't even like the game. So I'm watching it just from a pure entertainment perspective, and I love it. I love it. It's so far so good. And I loved Sergeant Major, the guy who plays him. He also played on another show that I watched called American Gods. He played as like the you remember that guy, Vince?
Yeah. You're talking about the Leprechaun.
Yeah, he was. He played the Leprechaun.
Yeah, he was in The Wire season 2. Nick Sabaka.
Yo, well, you're tapping into what I was gonna say about it, which is, and welcome back, Phoenix. So glad you could join us. But yeah, man, one thing that they did something that I wasn't expecting them to do, and that's what I think I'm a little amazed at. And they have humanized Master Chief.
Right?
They have managed to humanize Master Chief, who all these years when I'm playing him with my controller, I've looked at just as a drone character. And he speaks to Cortana. So it's drone like it. He has, if you play the Halo games, he has zero personality. He has zero inflection in his voice. It's him, Cortana, and his troop, and that's it. And there's there's nothing about it that gives you he has internal struggle. You know what I'm saying? I mean, on occasion you could tell that he wished Cortana was a real person. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, that's one of his things. But this way of unmasking Master Chief, and instead of us going through the whole series and waiting for him to be, you know, kind of like in Mandalorian, because I did get some very heavy Mandalorian vibes, all right, which angered me the first episode, frankly. I was like, come on, bro, we've seen this already, man. We've seen this, Halo. Y'all have a better story than this. Rescuing the young lady who we can assume is Baby Yoda, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Taking her somewhere and leaving her with her people or whatever. It's like, all right, bro. And then having a helmet, having a team of people with helmets that don't take off their helmets. And I mean, they do take their helmets off, but it's just like, all right, man. And then he takes his helmet off, like in the first episode. And you're like, oh shit, he's taking his helmet. Oh, spoiler alert. He takes his helmet off in the first episode. Well, look, man, we gave y'all a week, bro. God damn, man. If you ain't watched it by now, it is. So he takes his helmet off, and it's old boy from, like you said, from The Wire. I mean, you like this guy. We're like, okay, I like this dude. You know what I'm saying? I remember I loved him in American Gods. If you haven't seen American Gods, his character is almost worth the whole show. Almost.
Yeah.
Almost.
He was porn stash in Orange Is the New Black.
Yes, porn stash. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God, that was him.
Yes.
I hate him. Oh my God.
Yes, he is now Master Chief. And no, I didn't upload any pictures, but Bokeem Woodbine is in the show. He has a major role. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. And Bokeem Woodbine kills it. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, the reason this second episode I love this so much is because I love Bokeem Woodbine from every movie in the 90s. I mean, you can't name a movie with black people in it that Bokeem wasn't in. Like, you know, Life, New Jack. I mean, we could go on and on. Strapped. Who didn't like Strapped with Bamboo, bro? Come on, give me a break, bro. You know what I'm saying? When it was dancing and all those little scenes in between, you know what I'm saying, with the guns and stuff. Bokeem Woodbine is a major character. I mean, you know, I'm sure Steph would have things to say about his love interests. Who knows? Maybe, I don't know. But I don't. She has
probably. Oh, okay.
Hey, what was the movie he played in with Jada Pinkett and Alan Payne that everybody was talking about a long time ago? Like, he was the brother. He was the crazy. Remember, he was the brother. with Jada Pinkett, Alan. Stephanie, do you remember this movie at all?
Are we talking about CB3?
CB4.
No. It's with Alan Payne. You remember Alan Payne? Back when light skin was in.
You talk about Jason's lyric.
Jason's lyric.
Yeah.
Jason's lyric.
The Jerry curls and all. That's what they had the Jerry curl.
He was gonna kill him. He was like, "You got it, but you took him away from me."
Yes. It was definitely dope. Well, yeah, man. I don't know, Phoenix. You don't strike me as a Halo player. Nah, not a video game, but you got a phaser. Now, full disclosure, guys, we only got a few minutes left. And originally, before Will Smith happened, before the smack happened, our objective today was to do some Trek talk, which we really want to do. We want to talk Trek, even though I feel like I'm the only Trekker, whatever you want to call us. I feel like I'm the only one on the panel. All right,
that's a lie.
All right, Tyleem is won by proxy. All right, he's almost there. But like literally, this young lady beneath my square here on Hollywood Squares, this young lady knows the episodes. like we're now in a Picard series, which we're not all caught up on. I'm caught up, but Q is here. Locutus is starting to give. The Queen Borg is around. Like there's so much, and I bet you that Phoenix knows the episode that we first saw Q from TNG and all of that. Now, I say that to say that we didn't have the luxury of being able to enjoy Phoenix's contributions today as much. So I'm hoping that she'll come back and join us again to actually do some Trek talk. Because I don't even know if we can hear her right now. Honestly, there's been there you are. Yeah. So will you come back, Phoenix, and talk to us more Trek a little later another time?
Absolutely, but could I put in like a 2-second quick advertisement for my Trek show that's coming up tonight?
Come on, quick, make it 2 seconds.
Sure. So tonight I got an online show that I've been producing called Strip Trek 2: Getting Risky on Ryza. It's a full online show. Today is the last day to get your VIP tickets. And you can get your general admission tickets up until the 9th. So the show premieres tonight, and then it'll be online available until April 9th. So it's just in time for first contact for any of y'all Trekkies out there who know the significance of April 5th. And I do an act that I'm pretty sure if Michael Dorn, who plays Worf, saw it, he'd probably kick my ass. And honestly, that's the goal.
Yo, you want Worf to come through with his sash on and his weapon?
I want Michael Dorn to be like that bitch, and I'm like, yes, I have accomplished everything I have in life. I can die now. It's all good. I just want to piss off Michael Dorn.
I think that if Picard keeps on the trajectory that it is, we'll end up seeing Worf and every other TNG character, because that's basically it's a TNG reunion. It's the Star Trek Next Generation.
They're slowly bringing them back. I don't know whether we'll see. We probably won't see Worf or Geordi until probably I feel like the next season.
Probably. Yeah.
Provided everybody stays alive after this season.
Right. So I hope that's the case.
Yeah.
They don't spoil us, but yeah, please come back so we can talk to you at length. Nobody knows Star Trek like Phoenix, frankly. So unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to really talk to her as often as much as we
I came in knowing that it was going to be all about Will Smith. I didn't even mean to choose a shirt. I was just like, oh wow, you know what, this is okay.
Well, thank you. Keep that shirt handy, man. And we'll definitely. All right, guys, we're down to the last couple minutes. Last week we did some video games afterwards. This week we're ending with the video game show. I don't know if y'all want to stick around afterwards, talk a little bit. I don't know how much time I got. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little tired, but we'll see what's going on. But the moral of the story today is don't make jokes that are really bad in front of millions of viewers with the person that you're talking about a few feet away with an I Am Legend body that could come and slap you. But also don't be so insecure that you can't take a joke and pull somebody aside later, or find a less violent way to address a scenario. Make sure you all go see Morbius, but don't watch Moon Knight. I may have said that backwards or not. You'll figure it out yourself.
Very much backwards.
Yeah, definitely backwards.
All right, and now definitely check out Moon Knight so we can talk about it next week. Check out Halo. Let us know what you think about it. I actually like the Covenant. I think that the language, the language that they made up for.
They nailed it. Like with the force field and shit, they nailed it. And the gun, the plasma guns, they fucking nailed it. It was really good.
I didn't like the whole. I mean, at first it was kind of there was a hint of Kung Fu Hustle in the first episode with everybody being in the town, and then somebody's coming. But that's a whole other story. We'll talk about it later, and maybe even after the show. But yeah, check these things out, man. Stay on with us, and as always, make sure you follow us on each and every one of our streaming sites: YouTube, Facebook, and as well as Twitch. What's up, quickly?
Honorable mention: Top Boy on Netflix.
Yes, Top Boy
season 2. Watch it.
Top Boy is good, as well as our show. And speaking of which, if you are watching, then we hope you're being your authentic self, because that's what we are here, our authentic selves. And in all things, make sure if you're a geek in real life, go ahead, don't be afraid, let that geek flag fly. Let's end this before we lose our chance to replay.
Fighter 2, I just really hate Zangief, only Ken and Ra. You, I find it hard to be Blanca, keep a wee ninja hanging and the uncle album banging. If you negative in energy, then stay out the vicinity. Yeah, the niggas over there, yeah, now look at what I'm with.